Some men chase intimacy their whole lives, but never notice the one thing that pushes it away. And some men, calmer, quieter, more certain, create intimacy without ever asking for it. Why? Because women don't move toward pressure. They move toward presence. And here's the part no one tells you. The moment you reach for closeness, you often kill the very energy that creates it. Not because wanting connection is wrong, but because needing it is loud, and she feels every bit of that noise. But real attraction, real intimacy, comes from a different place entirely, a place most men never learn to access. It comes from the man who isn't searching, isn't begging, isn't trying to create a moment, but simply becomes the kind of man a woman feels pulled toward without understanding why. This is the Stoic shift, a shift that happens inside you long before anything happens between you and her. A shift from reaching outward to standing inward, from seeking permission to embodying presence, from wanting connection to becoming the kind of man connection naturally forms around. In this video, we are going deeper into the mindset, the psychology, and the calm masculine energy that makes a woman lean in without you ever having to ask. And to understand how intimacy truly forms without effort, we begin with the first shift, the one that silently destroys attraction before most men even notice it happening. Let's open the door to the first Stoic shift.
Shift 1. The moment you ask, you lose. There's a truth most men discover only after losing the moment. The instant you ask for intimacy, you weaken the very energy that creates it. Not because desire is wrong, but because asking reveals something deeper, that your sense of value hinges on her response. And a woman feels that instantly. Neediness isn't always loud, but it is always noticeable. It tightens her chest, makes her overthink, and turns attraction into hesitation. A Stoic man understands this because he lives by a different foundation. He does not seek completion outside himself. He becomes whole before he stands in front of her. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." And it applies here more than most men realize. If your thoughts are anxious, needy, seeking approval, your presence becomes dyed with that same energy, and she feels it long before you speak. But when your inner world is calm, certain, self-contained, your presence reflects that too. Women respond not to the words of a man, but to the color of his inner state. Think of fire. It doesn't beg to burn. It simply burns, and everything around it responds. So the question becomes simple. In her presence, are you the flame or the man asking for warmth? Because intimacy isn't something you request. It's something that forms naturally when a woman senses a man who stands whole on his own. And once you understand this first shift, you're ready for the ancient power beneath it, the power of stillness itself. And now, we move into the next shift, the one that reveals the ancient power behind stillness.
Shift 2. The ancient lesson. Power speaks through stillness. Long before modern men struggled with approval, there was a kind of masculinity shaped by silence, clarity, and unshakable presence. And few embodied this more than a Roman general whose story still whispers through time. He was strong without boasting, respected without demanding it, desired without trying. Women noticed him, not because he performed, but because his stillness carried the weight of a man who didn't need to chase. One night, during a gathering of nobles, a distinguished woman approached him and asked, "Why don't you pursue us like the other men do?" The general turned to her, calm as stone, and said only this, "Because I only chase what runs from truth." 9 quiet words, yet they echoed louder than every man who had begged for her attention. Seneca once wrote,
He who is brave is free. And that is exactly what the general embodied. A man free from desperation, free from seeking approval, free from the hunger that weakens the masculine frame. His stillness wasn't a tactic, it was a declaration that his worth did not rise or fall based on who leaned toward him. And that very freedom is what made her lean closer. Not because he tried to impress her, but because she felt the gravity of a man who didn't need her validation to feel whole. That night, she offered herself willingly, not to his pursuit, but to his presence. A woman is drawn not to the man who chases, but to the man whose silence reveals strength. And now we move into the next shift, where this ancient truth meets your modern reality.
Shift 3. When asking breaks the moment. Now let's bring this ancient truth back to you, to the moments you've lived, the moments that felt electric right before they disappeared. Picture this. You're with her. She's laughing, she's close. The air between you feels charged, sharp, alive. You can feel her leaning toward you, not with her body, but with her entire attention. And then you ask, "Can I? Should we? Do you want?" And just like that, the spell dissolves. Not because she didn't want the moment, but because asking shifts the dynamic. It pulls you out of presence and places you in pursuit. It turns masculine certainty into boyish hesitation. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it." And that's exactly what happens here. The moment isn't ruined by the question. It's ruined by the insecurity inside the question. Your doubt changes the way she feels you. It colors your presence with fear instead of direction. A woman doesn't pull away because you want intimacy. She pulls away because you ask for permission to enter a moment that was already unfolding naturally. Stillness carries her forward, but asking interrupts the flow. It reminds her that you're not leading the moment, you're waiting for approval from it. But if you look beneath this moment, you'll see something men almost always miss, a shift that has nothing to do with her and everything to do with you.
Shift 4. The twist. It was never about her. Here's the twist most men never see. Intimacy doesn't start with her. It starts with you. Most men think attraction is about, what does she want? What does she like? How do I get her to choose me? But these questions point your attention outward, away from the only place intimacy truly begins, your inner state. You don't shape the moment by controlling her feelings. You shape it by controlling your presence. Seneca once wrote, "A man who suffers before it is necessary suffers more than is necessary." And his words strike to the heart of this shift. You fear losing her before anything is even happening. You fear rejection before she's even made a move. You fear the unknown before there's any reason to. And that fear leaks into the moment. It makes your energy collapse inward, makes you overthink, makes you reach outward for reassurance. But a Stoic man doesn't ask, "Does she want me?" He asks, "Am I aligned with the man I choose to be?" Because when your center is solid, she feels it. When your breath is slow, she relaxes. When your presence is anchored, she trusts you, even in silence. This shift isn't about convincing her. It's about transforming you. Not to impress her, but to understand that intimacy gravitates to the man who doesn't crumble under uncertainty. And when you realize that the moment rises or falls based on who you are in it, everything starts to change. And with that clarity, we move toward the next shift, where these ideas take shape in the real world you walk through every day.
Shift 5. Everyday examples where attraction quietly reveals itself. Before we go deeper, let me ask you something. Have you ever felt a moment with a woman shift without a single word being spoken? 1 second, everything felt open, warm, inviting, and the next, it slipped away and you couldn't explain why. If that's ever happened to you, what comes next will finally make sense. To understand these shifts in your real life, you only need to look around. Because attraction isn't created in rare moments, it happens quietly in the everyday spaces where men either rise or collapse into neediness. Take this scene. There's a man at a party. He's loud, always talking, always performing. He fills every pause with jokes, stories, noise. People laugh, but they don't feel him. He's trying too hard, and everyone senses it, especially her. Then there's another man, quiet, observant, comfortable in his own silence. He listens more than he speaks. He doesn't push for attention. His presence is felt, not forced. Guess who she notices first? Or picture a simple moment. One man sends text after text. Do you like me? Can we talk? What's wrong? His energy reaches outward, searching for reassurance. Another man posts a picture reading by the beach, living his life, grounded, calm, whole. He's not asking for connection, he's radiating it. Guess who she messages? Epictetus wrote, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." In modern language, you must be willing to let go of the urge to impress, to fill silence, to perform for approval. Because she isn't drawn to the noise you make, but to the life you stand firmly inside. And from these everyday scenes, a larger truth begins to form. A truth captured perfectly in the next shift.
Shift 6. The rule of stillness. Every pattern you've seen so far leads to this. Stillness isn't silence. Stillness is control. Not control over her, but control over yourself. Your breath, your reactions, your urge to rush, prove, chase, or fill the moment. Most men fear stillness. They run from it. They try to cover it with words, jokes, explanations, effort, anything to escape the quiet, because the quiet exposes their doubts. But a Stoic man doesn't escape stillness. He enters it. He knows that the moment he rushes, he falls out of his frame. The moment he pushes, he loses polarity. The moment he asks, he abandons leadership. So he slows down. He lets his presence breathe. He lets the moment unfold instead of forcing a direction. Epictetus said it bluntly, "No man is free who is not master of himself." And in intimacy, this mastery is felt immediately. A grounded man calms the space around him. His voice softens, his movement steady, his attention sharpens. He becomes the anchor, and women move naturally toward what feels anchored. Stillness doesn't mean being passive. It means acting from intention, not anxiety. It means letting silence say what words cannot. It means replacing the need to be chosen with the certainty that you are already whole. When your energy stops chasing, hers stops running. When you stop reaching, she starts leaning. When you stand still, you become magnetic. And it's in this stillness that the next truth reveals itself. A truth about masculinity most men never learn and every woman instantly feels.
Shift 7. Real masculinity. The gravity she feels instantly. Real masculinity isn't what most men think it is. It's not loud. It's not aggressive. It's not the constant performance of strength. Real masculinity is gravity, a quiet force she feels the moment she steps into your presence. You are the mountain. She is the river. The river flows toward the mountain, not because the mountain demands it, but because it stands, unmoved, anchored in itself. Modern men often confuse noise with power. They brag, they over-explain, they try to prove their worth. Yet every attempt reveals the opposite, a lack of inner foundation. Real power comes from the man who doesn't need to announce it. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." And that single command captures the heart of this shift. A good man, a grounded, masculine man, doesn't talk about what he is. He lives it. You see it in the way he walks, slow, not hurried, in the way he listens fully without needing to dominate the space, in the way he reacts, measured, controlled, intentional, not cold, not distant, just present. A woman feels this kind of man not because he's perfect, but because he belongs to himself. He isn't shaped by her reactions. He isn't moved by her moods. He doesn't crumble when she pulls back for a moment. He remains steady. And steadiness is rare. Rare things are valued, and valued things are desired. This is the masculinity she doesn't just notice, she trusts. And it's that trust that sets the stage for the final shift, the one that determines whether intimacy forms or disappears forever.
Shift 8. Walk away strong. The freedom she can feel. Here's the final truth. The truth most men never learn, and the truth that separates attraction from attachment. The man who can walk away is the man she never wants to lose. Not because he's cold or uncaring or emotionally unavailable, but because his strength doesn't depend on her staying. He chooses her, but he doesn't cling to her. He desires her, but he doesn't collapse without her. He feels the connection, but he does not make it his identity. This is the quiet power that modern masculinity has forgotten. Epictetus wrote, "No person is free who is not master of themselves." And walking away, calmly, without bitterness, is the purest expression of that mastery. Because when a man can walk away, it means he is not ruled by fear. He is not ruled by desire. He is not ruled by outcomes. He is ruled only by his inner standard. A woman feels this more deeply than anything you could ever say to her. She feels it when you don't argue to prove your worth. She feels it when you don't chase after uncertainty. She feels it when you hold your ground even when emotions rise. Freedom is magnetic. Not the freedom to leave, but the freedom to stay without needing. And here is the paradox. A man who can walk away rarely needs to, because his presence, his calm, his grounded confidence creates a space where she wants to stay, not because he begged, but because he didn't have to. And that brings us to the closing truth, where everything we've explored comes together into one final message.
Conclusion, where all the shifts come together. Everything we've explored comes down to this. Intimacy isn't something you chase. It's something you embody. Most men try to pull closeness toward them. Stoic men become the kind of presence that closeness gravitates toward naturally. You don't ask for intimacy. You don't demand it. You don't beg for it. You become the man who doesn't need to, because your actions, your breath, your energy already speak on your behalf. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "A man's worth is no greater than the worth of his ambitions. And the greatest ambition a man can have is mastery over himself, not dominance over others. When you stop chasing approval, you make room for attraction. When you stop asking for permission, you create polarity. When you stop clinging to outcomes, you open space for connection to form in its own honest timing." The Stoic shift isn't about playing games. It isn't about pretending not to care. It's about growing into the kind of man whose presence is steady enough to let intimacy rise naturally. So here's the question I'll leave you with. Which shift do you need to strengthen most to become the man you're meant to be? Tell me in the comments. Your answer might be the doorway to your next transformation. Thank you for watching Stoic Wisdom today. If this message brought you clarity, consider subscribing for more Stoic masculinity, modern philosophy, and grounded guidance for men. Until next time, stay grounded, stay wise, stay stoic.